gosh, 3 in 1 day. What is this guy doing? This is my build for Lauria. I changed the gyrating drill bits. Checking the speed, checking the stuff, whatever, whatever. I just... Sap. I don't know, man. Skill issue, I'm sure. I don't love sap over 203 realistically. I would like anything up to whatever I think it's like 280 millimeters that the destroyers stop taking 1/3 damage that they take, the overpin equivalent. I've tried it on this a little bit. I've tried it on Marco Polo. I think I tried it a little bit. Yeah, I tried it like one game in Michelangelo, which if you've watched any of my matches in that, I like HE on that one. This one doesn't have the option. It's AP and SAP anyway. I've played several matches in it trying to get the SAP to work. And it's fine. It's fine. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's bad. But like the AP on this thing is spicy. And yeah, it's super fast. So I just drop in gyrating drill bits, drop the speed down, it's still 33 knots, and just go in on the AP. I do take a few sap shots in this match. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they go when they get to it. That is actually, you can see, 554.78 sap. That's another Lauria. That is definitely what that is. So, I mean, it hurts. But with this AP, you overmatch. I guess in... Oh, yeah, like, oh, I love it. AP, I just love it so much more. It has improved pin angles too. What the ships that the sap is best against, the AP is also great against. And again, like, fully admit, just like any of my other, like, I'm sure there are people out there that are better with the sap than I am, but I get like so many bounces and shatters, and it just drives me nuts. And I think part of it probably is that, like, I'm just more used to AP. Can't get, like, sure, I get 20,000 damage. I was like, dude, I wrecked that guy. It's like a 40,000 damage salvo. And if I had the full frontal skill where you could switch shells, like, maybe I would use the sap more. Just there's a lot of things that if that just aren't the case. If it did full damage against destroyers, that would probably be busted. But yeah, I would definitely use it. But as it stands, I just tend to like the AP better. So, all that to say, I've switched to the gyrating drill bits for this one, and I fully intended to just lean on the AP this round, which is kind of my thought going into it. As I said, I tried a couple of matches with it, trying to lean more on the sap, and just really didn't find it that... It doesn't suit me. I guess that's probably the best way to say it, is I just don't know that the sap suits me. Here we see a Schlieffen coming in. I should talk about this match in this map and this positioning. When I looked at the teams, there's a lot of divisions. I don't know all the, like, kind of famous-y divisions. So, like, playing the Fleet Cups and stuff, I know, like, a little bit. But I can't, like, I don't know if these dudes are ones that are in the Fleet Cup or not or whatever, and it doesn't matter that much. But what I am looking at is there's enough divisions that I kind of expect a little more tentative / coordinated play, if that makes sense. When you have a lot of solo players, you end up, like, they're not on the same page, they're not necessarily working together, they're not necessarily doing the same thing, so you end up with a lot of, like, either too passive or too aggressive. When you have people that are working together, you tend to find ships that are more in that middle ground. And you've seen some of that. They're, is that a Holland? I think ate a torpedo in the south of D. That's a real bummer for them because they lost their destroyer. And the other one, our destroyer on this A-cap, is actually doing a really good job just kind of keeping it safe, because that is a Gdansk. He does not want to get wrecked by that. And I appreciate him just staying alive. Like, there are too many times the destroyers just go in and die. And he does a really good job just staying alive. That's all you have to do. Like, just chill for a second. Yep, they capped A. We don't want that, but if you can just wait a second, you know, he sees the Gdansk leaving, now's the time to go into A, and I really appreciate that. Just a little bit of conservative play. Here we send a, angled Schlieffen. I'm going to send the AP in. Not my best shot. One pin. Looks like it's in a turret because it didn't get any damage. So I'm going to try the sap out on the Schlieffen. He's not a heavily armored target. This should do, like, well enough. And I understand the theoretical, you want to generally aim nose, tail, upper belt. Like, I get it. You're not trying to hit him in the thickest part of the armor belt. Yeah, I maybe aimed that a little low. Could have aimed a little higher, but I was worried, shells just going all over the place. So I get 3 pins, 10k. Okay, that's fine. But I'm a little annoyed at this point. He's also a little bit angled that I think maybe I can get a better shot. So I switch back to AP. He comes in, and so I switch back to sap. Just try again because I think he's gonna nose into me, and I hit him for 18,000 with the AP. 7 hits instead of 6, so I did get 1 more hit. But even with the 4 over pins, 3 pins, what was it? I can't remember. Whatever the ratio was, it was similar enough to the saps, but like the shatters annoy me with the saps. The bounces really annoy me. It's like only a 10-degree bounce range, and somehow I get so many. And then yeah, an 8k hit. That's the other thing that drives me nuts about the sap is you get to that damage saturation, and they like stop doing noticeable damage. That drives me nuts. So again, yeah, he's turning there. If I had AP loaded there, I think that's lights out for the Schlieffen. And so I consistently just find myself where, sure, sap's great. It does great against cruisers and whatever. Like, these are 457mm AP guns with great accuracy, good penetration. I don't actually know what it is, but it's fine. Like, they're not particularly weak. And improved pin angles, like, I'd just rather use the AP. So yeah. So I think I've not. You can see I have 19 kills on this ship. I haven't played it a lot. This skin is cool, but also ridiculous. I have a friend who's played it a fair amount, and he likes it a lot. I've actually done well in this ship, but I haven't really enjoyed playing it. And I think it's just the sap. I just can't quite figure it out, And again, since I haven't played it a ton, especially with these bigger caliber guns, like, sure, not used to it. Maybe I'll find its place eventually, but I think I'd rather just have... Would I rather have HE? Yeah, for full damage on destroyers, honestly, I'd rather just have HE on this ship. Call me crazy, but
I need your support.
I think I would. I think I'd do the same thing I would on, like, Marco Polo and Michelangelo, and, I'm going AP like 85% of the time. And those times that I use the HE, it's like I know it's gonna hit. It may not be amazing, but like I can always set a fire. It's not gonna bounce. It can't bounce. But I don't know. It is what it is. Just going back to this match, this is something that this is actually, you can see the difference in between this red Lauria and what I'm doing. I haven't really stopped moving. I actually kind of got caught up on the island because of the monstrous turning circle on this thing I didn't fully account for. I don't like to sit still. I've been moving back and forth a lot. He's been kind of going back and forth on a line behind that island and being a lot more stationary than I am. And these aren't necessarily like... There's a time and a place for both of them. I don't know that either one is specifically better or worse. I think a lot of, quote-unquote expert players generally do sit more still than I do sometimes. That is one of the things that I've been working on, is making sure that I'm intentional about when I'm moving and not just, full speed ahead YOLO all the time. I just like to move. And this ship is fast. Horrible turning. Come on. Said sap leaves health from damage saturation, then I'll leave that guy. I think that's the second one that was all. Oh yeah, the Montana I left on a sliver of a health, so whatever. But I keep moving, and this is part of why, I mentioned it in my video that I just made about Georgia, like kind of outrunning the torpedoes, not necessarily being faster than them, but heading away from them and having that extra time to find the gap and get your shit right in the gap, that's another thing that I'm doing right here. It's like I'm looking at them, trying to find the gap. And these I realize, like, I'm actually just fast enough. I'm just going to turn away and run away from them. So yeah, I'm going around in circles, taking shots of opportunity from this middle part. I've been spotted off and on, trying to make sure I'm not taking fire from other ships. My team's actually doing a pretty good job whittling down the rest of this team. I'm contributing damage on kind of all of the flanks. I'm shooting this guy over the middle. I shot the Montana. There was an Alaska. I think that's someone else. Oh no, he sailed all the way around here. I was trying to get him earlier, but he kind of went out of range. And I didn't have a shot on him. So yeah, even though I've been in this middle spawn and not actively contesting any of the caps, I've done 165,000 damage, and I've hit ships in every other cap. That's also something that I've talked about before, is to remember, we talk about these kind of backline petty sniping from max range battleships. Like, yes, there is, you can't just sit at the back of the map doing nothing. Battleships can have, 19 kilometer range pretty easily, and if they're aiming well and doing damage, like, I don't need to be inside of this cap. Right now, I do wish someone had gone to A and capped that. These two battleships that were north of A, I think they certainly had a space to go into A much, much sooner and cap that. But to that point, you can't always see what everyone here. Yeah, I knew I did it somewhere. Like, go cap A. You can't always see what everyone else is doing. So maybe, I think maybe the Lauria in C has an angle on them that they're concerned about. But I think they had space. I don't know. From my perspective, I think they had space, but maybe they didn't. So, and it's fine. They certainly more or less won that flank. It's just still capped. So go get it, guys. Missed the Vermont there. I think he turned in, and I just didn't aim that right. I'm not sure if it hit the island. I wasn't looking enough to see. But it looks like he's still coming, so I'll just aim up a little more, see if we can get some more damage on him. Here, I am mostly just trying to play somewhere that's not the exact same as everyone else. I don't know that this is where I specifically want to be, but because we have that cruiser up there, the battleship that was north of A came down this way and kind of took the spot that I was in. I just don't want to be on top of him. The last thing I want to do is have that Vermont just nose in and tank everything from all of us. So if I can be in a different spot, that's really what I want to be. Down he goes. And here we see the Dalian. Oh, yeah, so the Alaska's already gone. Okay, anyway, so there's a Dalian right here. He's kind of outrunning his smoke. And I've got my spotter up. And let's see, is he going to stop or turn? I think he stopped. Looks like he's stopping. I don't know if he's launched. Yep, okay. He stopped. Goodbye, Dalian. It's another one where I like the AP. I think Sap would have wrecked him right there, but I don't know that it dev strikes him. Again, I'm not experienced, so maybe maybe it would otherwise, but I see that so often, like, oh, I get that many hits, it saturates his nose or whatever, and he doesn't go down, and then he's in his smoke, and then we have to go in there and fight him, or he gets to turn and launches his torpedoes in this gap, and I'm kind of stuck here because the Lauria is fast, but it's super long and unwieldy. I'm glad I had the AP loaded right there. Here we have one ship. I was talking to the Montana here. I was asking him to turn left. I was afraid the Lauria was going to come zooming out of that gap and shoot him right in the side. He's like, no, I need to angle to the south. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're actually probably right. I kind of wish he was a little bit more, because he could kind of take the angle. But then, oh my gosh, this Lauria is here. He turned all the way around, and he's actually on top of me. This is not where I expected him to be. My patented turret knock, of course it goes down. That was actually a bad shot. I thought I led enough for that. I want to do some experiments with, I think there's a lead time on the. Anyway, I'm not gonna have 2 videos in a row where I'm conspiracy theorizing. But yeah, so here I was going for the ram. I thought he might have been 2, but then it looks like he's. I'm just I don't know, just fire guns. I really could have Citadel. I think I could have just shot him, but I just wanted to finish the match off. Guarantee the damage, guarantee the experience. So yeah, we end the match pretty good. 4 kills. Could have had one of the or 2 of the others, and yeah, pretty good game. Maybe I like the Lauria.